Hey everybody, it's Mike.
And Katie.
And we're back with episode 87. What are we talking about?
Well, it only follows suit that now it's Lord of the Rings Two Towers.
There we go, on this episode of Cup of Rad. Okay, so last week we teased you, we said we were going to give you one episode, and then we talked for an hour about the other one. So
Whoopsies!
Here we go. We're going to be dropping our recap of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers in this episode here. Yeah, it'll be an exciting journey, just like the last one, I think.
Epic quest, even.
Right? With all that whacking on the bushes.
No, whack it on rocks, man.
Oh, we're walking on rocks now?
There's not many bushes in Two Towers.
Roger.
I don't know, caves, rocks, general sharp, pointy things. Doesn't it sound great?
Oh, yeah, it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, we'll go back to the Shire.
Yeah, right?
I miss my bushes. So we just dove right into it.
Yeah, right? Nose first.
Yeah. What are we drinking tonight?
Well, tonight we're actually drinking the Black Currant Ginger Sour from Old Yale. It is a bright in color as it is tart in acidity. Our kettle sour has a deep, dark, fruity flavors and subtle sweetness from the black currant, rounding out this summer brew in a hint of citrus with a lingering kick of fresh earthiness from the ginger.
I like that review. It was like dramatic and intense. Yeah. And fancy.
Right?
You know,
completely fancy.
It's fun because it's like, am I drinking juice? Am I drinking wine? Am I drinking beer? It's just whatever you kind of feel like. It's fabulous.
It is pretty fabulous.
It's so light and refreshing.
Well, it's definitely a summer thing, right?
Yeah. Like,
so
this is awesome.
So, yeah. One thing we did today, I'm going to interject. We got to go to a new coffee place. It's literally a coffee truck in our neighborhood, Merci, and they make lattes and all
You're
that
Canadian,
espressos.
you're supposed to say it right, so yeah.
Merci. Merci coffee.
Nice.
But super awesome people, super nice and all that. Most of you won't be able to get a chance to ever check it out because you're not in our area, so sorry.
Sucks for you.
Yeah. But for us, it gave us that lovely caffeinated boost before we decided to dive into this episode.
Yeah.
So...
Well, you know, we'll take every advantage to try we try as best as possible to try local support, businesses and everything. And local coffee and small batch is awesome. We found that with Spent Grounds of how wonderful small batch coffee really is. There is, it's no different than the craft beer.
Yeah.
It's a craft coffee and there is a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Which is impressive. And so, they're serving up local made coffes for things, smaller amounts, kind of specialty things. And
they're doing pop coffee right now.
Yeah. And it's a lot of care and effort into it, which is really fun. And they were really awesome people.
Yeah, super nice. So I'll definitely find my way back because it's literally like 2 blocks away from me.
I told them now you can walk. Now, you know what, though? You need to start practicing your quest run. And we need to practice our quest run to get coffee.
There we go.
So if we can run all the way there, we can get coffee. If we don't run all the way there, we don't get anything.
I can do that. It's 2 blocks away.
It's like coffee. Coffee is at the end.
Beer and coffee? I'll run for that.
Walk around the neighborhood, Mike? Nah. Walk around the neighborhood to get coffee? Yes. Well, even kiddo, you got him out of the house to walk around because there was hot chocolate involved. Mm-hmm. So otherwise, nah.
Twice.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
Always fun.
So the main event, here we are. We're going to be diving deep into the Two Towers.
Yes.
That
the
title,
middle one.
That title always was like weird to me. Only because like I knew exactly what the towers were, the Two Towers were, but it just seemed like a weird title compared to like, the first one is like the Fellowship. Like it explains it a bit.
Yeah.
This one doesn't really seem to make...
What I don't like about the title is the fact that the main battle is not near either of those towers.
That's true.
So it doesn't make any sense.
No.
And you would think that if there had been, it made sense with taking down Isengard. Okay, fine. There was something that happened there. But Mordor just existed still. Mm-hmm. There was nothing that happened at Mordor.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense at all. No. It's just the space between the two towers. So we should be called the space between the two towers. That is my new name.
The space between the two towers. It's like the between the two ferns thing, right?
Yes.
So we're going to start a recap. We've mocked the title because, that's what we do.
That's why I haven't remembered what the movie would go on for so long, because the title is wrong.
It's like Attack of the Clones. You just couldn't handle that one, right?
No.
You're just like, no, they were not attacking. They were rescuing, but only for a moment.
Right. As if it was the movie's fault for the title, but still,
Right. So the movie came out in 2002, directed by Peter Jackson, and stars all the same people that you done from the last one.
Plus more.
And then some.
And then some.
So as we last had it, Aragorn and his crew were running through the woods, and Frodo and Bilbo, no. Only 2 sips in, and I don't know their names.
Woo!
Frodo
Some
and
other
Sam,
hobbit.
yeah, have gone off on their own. And so we start the movie that they're climbing.
He's your whacking buddy.
Yeah, my whacking buddy. They're climbing down this rope, and he goes to drop something, and he's all like, "Whoa, Mr. Frodo, I dropped something." And Frodo's like, "Oh no, I gotta catch that. I'm gonna risk my life to catch this box because Sam thinks it's important." So he goes and he catches it, and then he falls, and he realizes that they weren't that high up. And then Sam climbs down, and he's like, "Give him that box." And Frodo's like, "What's in that box?" And he's like, I'm thinking Frodo's like, "Oh, it's probably some good weed, right?" And he's like, "No, man, it's just spices for when I need to make a duck or
for
potatoes.
After we smoke some weed."
So then he's like,
"You gotta have it taste good,
right?
man."
I guess. So then he's like, this is that, and then he gets all sad about his rope, and he's all like, "Man, my rope is stuck on that rock. How are we gonna get it down?" And they start yanking the rope, and it falls, and he's like, "Whoa, my knots don't fail. That's trippy." Because it's elven rope.
It always shows back up at his side.
Right? So it's just like, bam, right there. And
probably didn't even have to tie it. It probably would have tied itself at that rate.
Right? Like, it just like drop it. And I'm like, I can climb this stuff, right? I want rope like that, though.
I would love that, yes.
Right? You just throw it at it's supposed to be, and it's tied. You're like, yes! So then that's when Gollum shows up. Gollum's all like, "Rah!" And they're like, he's been following us and all that. And they fight him. And this is a dramatic shift for Sam, because Sam's been very optimistic through the entire first movie. And all of a sudden, Gollum shows up, and Sam's like, "You's a bitch. You're an evil, sneaky bitch, and I don't trust you."
Sneaky bitch!
And that's the thing that's really wild, is that...
Well, it's such a... Yeah, it's a
dramatic...
marked difference.
Yeah, right?
And I remember being really angry about that.
Originally, I'm
like, what the fuck happened to Sam? Like, he was so happy, and then he's just all whiny and irritated, and like, you want to feel like... You want to sympathize with Frodo, and you want to be like, he's trying to be the better person, he's trying to be accepting of things, but then the whole story now, and you're like, no, he's right to be suspicious.
Well, yeah, because that ring is just sitting there, and Frodo's just like, ring, give me power.
Well,
trust this creepy, half-naked, shrivelly prune dude.
Right? Well, and it shows, though, that as it goes on with him, they have that connection, and it's that connection to the ring is more important than anything, and Frodo is therefore losing his connection to humanity concept, right? And it's so apparent that Sam's reaction to Gollum is much more what you would think people should be, and it shows then Frodo just how bad that ring is affecting him before it's apparent in other ways.
See it, right?
Yeah.
Like exactly.
So now I am more appreciative of it, but it always takes me off guard and be like, whoa, why is he so angry? Oh yeah, okay, scary.
Right. So then, because Frodo's all sympathetic, and he's like, no, he's okay, man. And Sam just is still like, nah, man, I don't trust this dude. He's trouble. Like, he's trouble. And Frodo's like, nah, he's good. Let's just trust him. So then we blast ahead, and we find out that the orcs and the Uruk-hai have taken Merry and Pippin, and they're taking a camp, and the goblins and orcs are all hungry. They're like, we need to eat, and we need to eat something. And the
creepy goblin guy,
the goblin, he looks like a vulture.
Yes,
you notice?
Well, because he has like feathers around him and everything, and the way he's very much symbolic.
Even the way they moves their heads, right? They're they bob. They got the long pointy noses.
Yeah,
They're more like kind of hunch, right?
Yeah.
So then then because then it shows that the Urkai are
By the way, I forgot that you can't see us as we're visually describing. We're like moving around, just so you know. Oh crap! We have to talk about it.
But so then the Urkai is all like, "No, you can't touch these hobbits." Saruman said they got to come back, and all the goblin-y things are like, "No, we could just eat their legs. They don't need anything.
No,
else."
unspoiled.
Right? And they're like, "No, we're not going to do that." So then that's when you find out how much battling there is between all these own species, where they're just like, no, I'm going to gut you. And the Urkai's like, no, I'm going to gut you. And he pops him off, right? Pew, pew, with his sword.
Piranhas show up and they just devour him.
And then it's all like, guess what, boys? Meat's back on the menu. Right? And what's cool about the extended scene is you get to see the intestines fly, and that just makes me happy.
That was missing.
Well, because it makes you happy. It makes you happy because it throws you back to his old horror roots, right?
Ah, okay.
Right, reminds me of Dead Alive, right?
Yeah,
just where intestines are flying.
Yeah,
right. It's like
I'm sorry. I know it makes you sad and cringe, but I do not remember.
That's why it's on YouTube. We're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch that. Man, you know what? You guys know how Lord of the Rings. Hey, we're gonna go watch Dead Alive. Good.
Bet you don't know about Dead Alive,
right? But so then this whole battle starts up too, and they're like, things are going all wonky and all that, and Merry and Pippin are trying to escape, and the guys are chasing them, and they're all screaming and we're gonna die, no, and then all of a sudden all these dudes show up,
and Carl Urban shows up.
Yeah, Carl Urban shows up.
Shit's gonna go down,
right? He saves the day. Have
we been? We hadn't been introduced to Carl Urban yet. We hadn't seen him. I thought we had.
He hadn't been banished yet.
Oh, okay.
Or had he?
I thought he had.
Maybe he had.
I think we missed that.
Okay, well.
I don't know.
But no, because we didn't get introduced to the Rohan until...
We didn't know why they were out there. They were just searching for things. We'll figure it out.
Well, anyways. Okay, well, Rohan gets introduced at some point, and you get to find out that Chucky is sitting there whispering into the captain of the Titanic... is all like...
Oh, you can't tell that he's a captain yet. He's just some creepy zombie dude.
He's a creepy zombie dude, but you've got Chucky and Captain of the Titanic sitting there trying to rule Rohan. and the Titanic dude is all shriveled and pruny and zombified. And Chucky's all like, don't listen to anyone. Listen only to me. Mwahaha.
It's like, you know what? I don't understand how none of the other... people in the kingdom question how bad the king looked.
They probably just thought he was sick.
Yeah, I guess you could.
They seem like they're outliers, though. They literally live in Norseman huts.
Yeah. Compared
to, I was going to say Gohan.
Nice.
Gondor. Right? And that idea that Gondor lives in a city.
Yeah.
Rohan is is your woodland Vikings.
Yeah.
Right. And so then.
And by the way, you are correct. We have not been introduced to his banishment yet.
Okay, see, that was right. So
why you never trust me? I am horrible at remembering the orders of things. This is why Mike is here.
So that. So yeah, they ride in, and all these riders come, and they're like, pew, 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 we're killing things, and they're killing orcs and Urkai and slaughtering. Merry and Pippin escape into the forest. Fangor Forest.
Yes.
You don't know much about this forest, but they go into the forest, and they're like, we's in the forest, we're walking, and then that creepy bird dude shows up, and he's all like,
I know, he comes running after them, yeah.
Hey, so they climb up a tree, they're like, oh, we'll get up this tree, no probs, dude, and they climb up this tree, and that is when the bird dude can climb a tree too. Pulls them out, they land on the ground, and then the trees come alive.
Yes.
And everyone's like, whoa, these trees are alive? And they're like, yeah, trees are alive now. And then he's all stomping along, and he steps on the goblin, and then he picks him up. Now, the fun fact is that Treebeard is voiced by Gimli.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. Gimli, I can't think of the guy's name. John Rifus.
Gimli is referred to as the guy who played Sala. So I was so excited when we had watched Indiana Jones, and we were like, because I love Sala, and he is forever the voice of the ride at Disneyland for me, because that's all I can hear whenever I hear his voice. And then you're like, oh yeah, he's Gimli too. What? Right. So what is funny, because when I hear about this type of stuff, I am completely thrown off guard that these were all regular sized humans for the filming.
Regular size Rudy.
And again, he was just, I'm still fascinated by it. So there you
go. What's it? John Rice something? Reese? John Rice Davies. Mm. So, but he voiced Treebeard as well. And he's able to have done it without... This isn't put really through a synthesizer. This is him changing his voice for it.
Oh, wow.
And apparently on set, he had a wooden megaphone.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't amplified. It was just like an old school megaphone made from wood to help give it that
the extra depth.
Yeah.
Because he already has a booming voice. And so, yeah, you would think it wouldn't need much manipulation.
Right. So then Treebeard's all like, you little orcsies, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And all that. And they're like, no, we're hobbits, we're shire folk, and blah, blah. He's like, I don't trust you. That seems like an orc trick. I'm going to smash you. And they're like, no, no, no. And then he's like, finally they convince him that they're not, but he's got to go confer, right? So these here are Ents. They're tree spirits, tree wranglers, right? Were they say that?
Yeah, they're tree shepherds.
Tree shepherds.
Yeah.
So they're going to go have a meeting to find out if these guys are telling the truth, right?
Oh, by the way, though, before we even saw Treebeard, though, because we didn't know that they were okay. We had the three on their epic quest to find them.
Yes.
They showed up and they find the Riders of Rohan, though.
Yeah.
And they're told that the Riders burned all of the Uruk-hai, and they just think that the hobbits died there, too. And then Aragorn shows up with his, like, epic tracker skills.
Well, what's funny too is when they first call out the Rohan riders there, right? They're all like, "Yo, dudes, what up?"
Yeah, they're super nice, and then they get like taking them and
they're like spears out. They're like enemy spies, and they're like, "Whoa, we said hi, dudes."
Yeah, if you were spies, you wouldn't be like, "Hello,
hello there, what up?"
Be like, oh shit, we're gonna hide behind this rock and stay there.
The rock that no one noticed. They could have just ridden.
They could have just been quiet and fine. Right? But it's like, it was funny. And then it was like, oh, okay, that's all you want. Okay, cool.
But like they're like dead set that they killed everyone.
No, we killed everything. Like, everything that moved, we slaughtered it,
right?
And burned it.
Right. It was actually really twisted when you think about it. Like, he was so like, no man lives left alive. And then we burned everything.
But yeah, I like when he goes there and it's like, wait a second, a hobbit laid here. And I was like, oh, wow.
So before, when they think that they're dead because they pull out the buckle.
Yes, the little sword, yeah. It was like a CSI scene, by the way, though, unfolding, which was awesome.
Viggo Mortensen kicked the helmet.
Uh-huh.
And then falls to the ground screaming. Right?
Oh, okay.
Because he's like, he thinks the hobbits are dead, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, the hobbits. So he kicked the helmet, broke his toe, and that scream is real.
Holy crap.
Everyone thought he was acting.
Yeah.
Until they cut for the next scene.
Why was he not wearing some better protective boots? Jeez,
Oh, they don't have PPE.
Yes, they should have PPE.
They do, but not for those things.
No, I know.
But I guess he didn't realize that it wasn't a prop.
It was actual.
Because he wasn't, I don't think he was supposed to have kicked the helmet.
Oh.
Right?
More of a stunt kick.
It was supposed to, I don't think he was supposed to have kicked it because it was a
really method acting.
It was like a real helmet, a steel helmet that he kicked. Instead of, because they didn't have a prop one.
That's awesome.
And so he broke his toe and then, collapsed to the ground screaming.
Nice.
So that's how method he got.
Super method.
But, after you were probably like, you kept that in the movie? How could you have done that?
Well, kudos we go for.
Right?
Continuing to stay in character and making it, film worthy.
Right?
You broke your
Because they were burning daylight at that point, so they probably were like,
we gotta get going here. But yeah, these tracker skills, and then he plays out the scene, and then you see that they had gotten away, right? So
it's you're right. It is the CSI moment.
Yeah, where it's like the flashback. You're like, what happened here? Oh, this happened here. Oh, I'm so excited! I found out my story. Yes, it all comes together.
Yeah, so they show everything happening.
Yes,
right. So then they go into
oddly satisfying. So then they go into Fangor Forest.
They go into Fangor Forest.
So then it all melds together.
And well, did they? Yeah. But did they find the hobbits?
No,
they don't find the hobbits. They find a crafty old white wizard.
This blinding light. Blinded by the light. And that's all we know of the song because you don't understand everything else that he says. Yeah, see? It's blah, 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 blah.
Is it a deuce or douche?
I've always
thought it was douche.
But no, it's not.
It's probably deuce.
It's deuce. It is. And it is literally one of those ones where I looked up because I'm like, I have to be wrong on this, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those. It's you know the song and you just kind of blurb over it and you're like, I'm just going to continue on with it, whatever he says. So anyways.
So that scene is supposed to specifically confuse you. They basically have.
It is very confusing.
It seemed to be Saruman in the forest, but then you're hearing Ian McKellar's Gandalf coming through. And what they did is that they had both actors record the same lines. And then also they CG'd it.
Yeah, because he kind of looks like him.
Yeah, they overlay the two wizards together so that you are unaware of who it is until he lets his light down. Yeah,
because it was, it's funny, I had forgotten about that. And I'm listening, and I'm like, I know that this is supposed to be Gandalf. It has to be. I know that he changes into a white wizard. Saruman wouldn't have showed up here. And I'm like, but what the fuck's happening? And I'm waiting for Kiddo to be like, oh, yay, Gandalf's back. And you could tell he was just like, I don't know what to think right now.
What's going on?
I shouldn't be happy. I should be what? I should be worried. They seem really okay because they know that Saruman's not in a good place.
Yeah, right.
So to be excited that the White Wizard's there and they look all happy, you're like, something's weird.
Right. So then you find out that it's Gandalf, and Gandalf's all like, yo, dudes, I'm back. What up? I fell through many levels and I'm back.
Went through space and time. And
right. So yeah, he describes it. This is what's trippy.
Doctor Strange did.
Is that they fall. He's battling the Balrog. He's like, take that, you flaming beast. And then they fall through water only to then land on a mountaintop.
Yeah, it's like
battle.
It's like the weird falling through the earth feel.
Yeah, so levels is Middle Earth supposed to be flat then? Is this a flat earther tale?
Maybe it's just like Dante's levels of hell or something, and he's falling between levels of hell. Oh, by the way, I believe the Balrog reminds me of, if you've ever heard of The Last Unicorn, I believe that I would like to know when that was, but it reminds, I know it's not exactly because he's not an actual demon, he's a bull thing, but it just reminds me a lot of that every single time. So.
Well, it does kind of look like Satan.
Yeah.
Right? It probably is some form of allegory.
He's not Satan. He's the last unicorn villain. You know what? This is a weird, tangent. Last Unicorn. It is a movie I watched repeatedly when I was a child. And then as I got older, it fell into the realm of the gargoyles where I thought I had dreamed it.
You did.
Shut up. I know I didn't. Until I found it again as an adult and I was like, no, that really was real. I had way too many moments of that when I was a child. But anyways, go ahead. Proceed with the White Wizard reincarnation.
So White Wizard, falls down, and he's battling him up on a snowy mountaintop until he vanquishes him. And then he lays there and he trips balls.
Totally. Space and time flying and sparkling and disappearing into nothingness and then being reborn. It's like a reincarnation.
Yeah, right? So then they're all like, whoa, what up, Gandalf? We saw you died. He's like, I did die, fools. And I came back as Saruman, or as Saruman should have been.
Ian McKellar's smirk is hilarious. He's just
because he becomes extra riddlier, right? He's like,
Yeah, well, because the more powerful you are, the more you have to speak in riddles.
Yeah, right. And they comment on that in this one, as we mentioned in the last episode.
Yeah.
That he's like, and
he's
I
like,
love,
"Yep, I know."
love when he has that moment too, where it's just like he's like, you still speak in riddles, and he's just like that smile. He's like,
I'm a cheeky little wizard,
right? I'm a bad wizard. Shut your mouth. So he goes ahead and he's like, I'm all powerful and all seeing now. I'm fantastic. I'm glorious. Look at me. I'm white and sparkly. This is beautiful. And they're like, well, we're supposed to be looking for the hobbits. He's like, psh, bitch. Hobbits? No, we must go to Rohan. And then he calls out for Shadowfax, and they're like, wow, that's a pretty fancy horse. He's like, I know. Me and him go back for years, even though you never saw him at all.
I was wondering about that too. I'm like, where was this horse last movie?
Saving up all his energy for this movie.
Maybe that horse is really more of Saruman's calling, or the White Wizard aspect. Maybe it's like, you become one with that horse as you get. I don't know. Yeah.
So anyways, they peace off to go back to Rohan.
Yeah.
And what's happened with Sam and...
they get to the Black Gate and it's closed.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, closed for business.
Yeah, it's closed.
Time to go home.
But then Sam sees it. And this is where I thought Sam, lost his nut. Because he's like, he saw it opening.
Yeah.
And he's all like, there's our moment. Let's do this. Let's just go. And he hops on the rock. And, they ride down the rock. And then they can't get in.
I'm not going to lie. This scene, I don't know what happened. I must have been distracted. I'm like, all of a sudden they were at Mordor. And then they were not. And I'm like, what the hell happened? They were at the gate. I know they didn't go through the gate.
Well, then they just
stopped.
He rides down the rock, and then Frodo chases down and creates a big dust storm and throws his cloak around him.
Yeah,
right?
what was I doing?
They got an invisibility cloak suddenly.
Oh yeah,
they turned into the rock.
I remember that.
And then the guard guys with the elephants were all like, "What was that? There's dust. We're gonna go check this shit out." And then they come back. They're like, "Whoa, it's just rocks. There's this really paper mache looking rock that does not look, suspicious at all.
Not at all.
It's does not match anything else in the scenery. It's very jagged, very dusty. It's okay." And then they just, walk away. And then literally they turn their backs.
The Lord of the Rings stormtroopers. They
turn their backs and Frodo just whips it off. He's like, okay, I couldn't wait.
Yes, you can't just wait 2 seconds and wait for them to be gone. Are you kidding me? They could have turned around and you would have been caught.
Yeah, right. So
the ring is making him cavalier with his safety.
Did they at that point? They weren't trusting Gollum yet. No, because this was the catalyst that then has Frodo want to trust Gollum.
Yes.
To take the back route to get to Mordor.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's when
because there was a needed to, right? So
yeah, and that's when they decide they're going to go do that.
But he did also. They went through the marshes. Remember, we have all the marshes there. That was the scary marshes there. That was why he trusted him. He was trusting him there because he saved him from the marsh.
Yeah, and that's when we got to see the Wraith riding his worm dragon.
Yeah. See, it's hard to this movie. The Fellowship was easy because it was just one group of people moving through it. Mm-hmm. This has three groups of people
storylines
moving, and then they all cross over, and it's like, okay, so right now we're going to talk about this group of people, and then we're going to switch over and restart to this group. That it's just chaos,
right? Pure chaos,
utter insanity. So I'm sorry for crossing paths, but it is what it is. But yes, the scary ass marsh with the dead people floating.
Dead people floating.
Yeah. So that was why he
trusted him.
He trusted him because he saved him. And that was because you could tell Gollum was like, should I not? And it was like, no, it's a perfect opportunity for him to be like, look, I saved Master. Yeah. Look what I did. I told you not to do this and I pulled you from it. I could have let you die.
Yeah.
And then I would have been able to just take the ring from you, right? So it's impressive because Gollum appears to be very unable to take care of himself. But when all of his actions, he is very intelligent in his planning and his manipulation and the long-term goal of biding his time and setting things up. Yeah. It's very impressive actually how much of it his mind is broken into, a traumatic side and his regular, original. It's the Gollum and Smeagol, right? Yeah. And
it's a dual personality.
But Smeagol is charming enough And Gollum is manipulative enough, and they work together to get that long-term
goal. You have all
it's
those scenes, too, where they're going back and forth.
I love that.
Right?
Kiddo really loved that, too. He thought that was...
because it was so clear-cut, and, you know, Andy Serkis...
Slight change in the camera view, so it looks like they're back and forth.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So this is one of, like, the most full CG characters that have been created, and it does look impressive. And he did a fantastic job, you know.
He's amazing motion caption.
Right? Like, it's just crazy to see, you know, what he could do with
the voice was really awesome, too.
Yeah.
You know, you have the difference between the two of them, too. I thought it was interesting that, you know, I always thought he identified as Gollum, but it's just the noise he makes.
Yeah.
You know,
when he's coughing.
Go, go. And so he was just the creature, more or less. Yeah. And then that was just his... that was actually something I had never noticed. Okay. I don't remember that at all.
No.
And it was
because he always just referred to as Gollum.
Yeah, right? And it was very apparent this one. I was like, wait a second, he's making that sound, and that's
his like trigger to switch too, right?
Yeah,
right. He'd always start with his go. So that's when you get.
It's a very interesting character. I think I have some more appreciation for it. And again, a different take on it. It wasn't just the creepy, you know, ring obsessed guy.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is a bit of a drug addiction when you look at it as well. Like it creates that, you know, he needs his fix. He's
attached to it, right?
Yeah.
And it's the battle back and forth between the one side that wants to be free of it and appreciate it and be done, and the one that just can't get it up, right? And does everything to manipulate your way into it again, right?
Exactly.
So now, so they go to Rohan, and
so they go to Rohan.
Gandalf's decided like he needs to save the king because he's being poisoned by
Saruman through Wormtongue.
Yes,
because like that should just given you away everything. That this guy was creepy as shit,
right? No one has that name and is a good guy,
right? Like, you know. Yeah, I feel sorry. He was predestined to be a douche tool.
Yeah.
Like, he literally, like, when he was born and you're like, you are Wormtongue.
You're like,
You know, like, that would be just like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to be a weasel.
Yep.
Right? So they go there.
Wormtail? No. But more of the J.K. Rowling, like, influence for Harry Potter. The race, the Dementors, Wormtongue, Wormtail.
So now we're just going to realize that Harry Potter was just a ripoff of Lord of the Rings. I already hate her enough.
I know.
Right now.
I know. But that was back before she was like really putting her foot in her mouth. But still.
She's putting more than her foot in her mouth. I gotta just stand
She's putting her whole leg in her mouth now.
I gotta say, you know what? For everyone in the news, I don't agree with what she's saying about that trans people are real people, or trans women are real women. Trans men are real men, because it is them. It's hormone therapy that they go through mental processes.
You got Mike on soapbox right now.
Well, no, I'm educated on.
No,
some
I know
of this
you've
stuff,
actually,
right?
you have education on this.
And so it's, you know, it is what they're real people. And
I know one of my coworkers has a close experience with them too. Like, you know.
So it's like you can't discredit this and for whatever it is. And
she's trying so hard to make it sound like she's okay, but also shooting herself in the foot with every single thing she says. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Yeah, she's just someone. I'm sorry, Warner Brothers, you need to take that franchise away from J.K. Rowling if you want to see Fantastic Beasts succeed.
Yeah, you need to watch out for your assets and do something proactive about it.
She is tarnishing that brand with every tweet, and it's making it harder to enjoy the past and the material that she wrote with Harry Potter that was so loving and accepting, and even
it's like, where did this person come from now?
Yeah,
what happened to you?
Yeah, like what happened?
And now apparently she also ripped off Lord of the Rings. So
so now I'm gonna have to burn all these pops tomorrow
as we sit next to the what we call it, Shrine of Harry Potter.
Right. So
anyways, back to saving the king.
So yeah, they show up and they're all like, whoa, dudes, you've got weapons. You need to take all those weapons off. And in glorious action fashion,
I love it so much. Let me find this.
They're all, you know, Aragon and all that. They're taking belts off and swords and all this.
Pulling things out of boots.
Yeah. And
but you can't take the old man's walking stick.
No, it's my walking stick.
As he walks in without using it.
Yes, that's what's hilarious. He's a couple of scenes,
and then he just walks.
Couple of these scenes, he's hobbling and all that. And you know what? So Wormtongue, it takes him, and this shows that like, his eyesight must be bad. He's not eating his carrots or whatever. Because
eat some berries.
he doesn't seem to notice that Gandalf does not have his staff until he's standing like a foot in front of him.
Right? The thing's huge, man.
Right. So then he's all, Gandalf's all like, what up, Theoden? And Wormtongue's like, whoa, who let him in here and with his staff? And then there's a little brawl. And then Gandalf goes up and he's all like, yo, Theoden, dude, you're getting poisoned with crazy shit from these guys with their like silver tongues whispering in your head. You've been cursed.
The power of Gandalf will compel you.
Right? Yeah, so he goes all exorcist on him. And he like,
Well, it's cool because he's fighting and then Saruman starts talking.
Yeah.
And I love when he actually does push him out that you see Saruman fall back in his his tower. And I love that because it shows that he was projecting himself there and then all of a sudden he got thrown back. And I love that physical connection.
That connection, right?
Yeah.
And then instantly...
Then the captain of the Titanic shows up.
Melts away. And
he's 50 years younger.
Right? All those wrinkles, all that white, that beard disappears. Right? And he's all like, it's like that, it's been 84 years.
It's like a dream.
Right? I was on a boat. 3 of the 5 compartments flooded. And I said, stay your course, man. This boat won't sink.
Yeah, because I'm watching it, I'm like, wait a second. When he was all pensive, I'm like, that's the captain of the Titanic.
Yeah.
Especially when he got all like it later on in the battle. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
You're going down with your troops, man. You're going down with your boat.
He played the same character.
He played the same character. I was like, well done, man.
Bravo.
Well done.
You know what you want and you don't leave your post until it sinks.
Yep. Yep.
So then they're all like, guess what? Isengard has an army. Mordor has armies. You got to work together with Gondor.
Yeah.
And Theoden's like, you don't know shit, Gandalf. You don't know nothing about my people. We're going to Helm's Deep.
Yep. Peace out. We're leaving.
Yep. We're going to a fort in the mountains that has no back door to escape.
What could go wrong?
There's no reason why.
We are going to corner ourselves
in a corner.
In a corner with very little men.
Yeah.
Very little anything. We've already banished our 200 warriors.
And old people.
We figured, you know what? No big deal. We don't have anyone to fight. Yep. But that's okay.
So we're taking off.
Yeah.
So then everyone's all sad and mad. And then like Aragorn's there and he's all like, hey, there's a lady here. What up? And she's all like, wow, you're kind of kingly. It's pretty awesome. And he's like, whoa, I've got like this thing around my neck that's
I'm grieving the fact that my husband, I'm picking a man. My brother is not here, Yeah. I'm all lost.
Yeah, so. I'm all lost. And Aragorn's like, yeah, you're kind of cute, but I got this thing around my neck that's killing my lady.
Yeah.
Because I took it from her. Because I'm cool like that. I got her star.
Yeah.
Woo. Elrond shows up in the middle of the night and he's all like, what up? You're killing her.
She's dying.
Right? Yes. You need to let her go. He's like, no, I got this.
But then he whips out something spectacular.
Fine, if you're going to be like this, you must have a mighty sword. But it was broken. I reforged it because I'm that badass in the Matrix. Oh, okay. Sweet.
No.
His giant sword.
Is that? Are we mixing something up?
No, he gets a sword before
he does.
He doesn't. I don't know. Whatever.
No.
It's happening. It's been a week now. So
see, I know, right? Okay, you know what? Apologies if we mixed it up.
But so then let's just jump to the Ents. The Ents are all having their little powwow.
Yeah.
And their little meeting, their little thing, whatever they're doing, their little chanty thing and all that, and they're speaking Entish.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're taking forever.
Merry and Pippin are all just like, there's stuff going down. We just got to hurry up here. And then he's like, we've decided. We've just finished. And they're like, oh, great, we can get going. Like, we've just said good morning.
Oh, my goodness, right?
Right. And then they go back to talking, and they're just like, oh, my God, what's happening? Why is this happening? No. And then...
No, we missed the part where Aragorn disappeared. That's what happens.
Where does he disappear to?
The Elf King doesn't show up. Remember, they go off, and they're in their battle with the wolves? And he gets thrown off the cliff.
Oh, yeah, when they're running.
Yes.
So,
then when they were going to Helm's Deep, then they're in that battle, and they're protecting all of the women and children.
Yeah.
And they get taken out, and he gets thrown off the cliff. That's what happens.
It's Return of the King.
It's Return of the King, where the sword shows up, because he goes to the dead.
We watched all these too close together.
Fellowship,
didn't record in between.
Break. So yeah, the sword shows up before he goes to the undead warriors.
Okay, so just scratch what we just said, or just like copy and paste it in your mind into the next one.
Bloop into the next one.
Right.
So no,
they battle. They battle on the thing, and then he falls off into the river,
and then he disappears, and they're all super sad. Yeah, and then they continue on Helm's Deep with everyone.
Yeah, everyone goes.
That's what happens. Yeah.
Okay, movie's over.
And then the magic of the horse shows up, remember?
Oh, yeah.
For Aragorn. Yeah. And then he ends up taking him back.
The mystical horse.
Yeah. The magical horse shows up and brings half-dead Aragorn back to Helm's Deep.
Yeah, okay. And then they're all like, hey, what up? Why are you so, dead looking?
Yeah.
Bastard.
And then, of course, she's all sad because he doesn't run immediately to her.
Yeah, he runs to Legolas. And
he runs to Legolas,
but bro.
I miss my buddies. Right? But he needs to update them and see what's going on because he's truly a warrior at heart. And it's like, wait a second, we got business. Business before pleasure.
That's what I'm doing wrong. Got it.
So yeah, we are still learning about Arwen's fate, and then because he's trying to get her to go away, and still all back and forth with that type of stuff, right? So, and then he's trying to her dad's trying to convince her to still go, right?
Yeah.
So
see, you know what? Two Towers to me doesn't have enough action.
No, it's so much. It's a connecting movie.
It's a connection movie, and it has a great action set at the end. Mm-hmm. But I find actually the Two Towers longer feeling than even like the Return of the King.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Because but it has key moments that are important, but like at the same time, there's other moments where it's just like not really there.
Now we're going to add another group of people in.
Right.
And now we're going to have Gondor, and we have the Steward of Gondor, and we have Bromir's brother.
Okay.
Which are now showing up and finding Smeagol in the pool. And
what we need to do is we need to take a break, grab another beer.
We need beer.
So enjoy Theo's little ditty this week because it's bound to be awesome.
We're gonna get more beer. We'll be back.
Think about the girl all the time. East side to the west side, pushing fat rides. It's no surprise. She got tricks in the stash, stacking up the cash. That's when it comes to the gas. By no means average, she's on when she's gotta have it. Baby, you're a perfect 10, won't get in. Can't make it down so I can win. I like the way you work it, no diggity. About to bag it up now. I like the way you work it, no diggity. About to bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. About to bag it up now. I like the way you work it, no diggity. About to bag it up. She's got class and style. She knowledge by the pound. Baby, never act wild. Very low key on the profile. Catching feelings is a no. Let me show you how it goes. Cause the world spins above. Lovers that get so freak what you heard. Rolling with the fatness. You don't even know what the half is. You gotta pay to play. Just for shorty bang bang and look your way. I like the way you work it. Jump tight all day, every day. To blow my mind, baby, in time. Maybe I can get you in my ride. I like the way you work it. No diggity. About to bag it up now. I like the way you work it. No diggity. About to bag it up. I like the way you work it. No diggity. About to bag it up now. I like the way you work it. No diggity. About to bag it up. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, that girl looks good. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Play on, play on, play on. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, that girl looks good. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Now I'm gonna pop some tags. tax. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is freaking awesome. Now I'm gonna pop some tax. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is freaking awesome. I like the way you work it, no diggity. Not to bag it up now. I like the way you work it, no diggity. Not to bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. Not to bag it up now. I like the way you work it, no diggity. Not to bag it up.
And we're back.
Yeah, thank you, Theo, from Insane Dragon Ball, for that. It gave us enough time to be able to grab another beer. We've cracked into our Moondance Mango Wheats. Two Towers needs 2 beers.
Yeah, I think
Apparently,
that makes sense.
because we're not.
So do we get 3 for Return of the King?
I'm down.
Okay.
Because apparently we're messing this one up. So.
It shows how different this movie is, and because of the different storylines,
Yeah,
it starts blending together.
And
this is why I always remembered Fellowship so much more than the others.
because it's more clear cut.
These are so much more convoluted, and Two Towers and Return of the King becomes one giant movie.
And see, that's the problem almost with every single trilogy.
Yeah.
The second and third need each other so much that they're just one movie.
Yeah.
Where the first
always tries to stand out by itself because it's like, okay, we're just doing this one thing and seeing what's happened. And then it's like, oh, well, we really like the second, so we're just going to green light a second and third one, and then we're just going to blurb it all into one movie, right?
These were all filmed together because they came out back to back.
But this is just the style of it because they break up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right?
So Fromir now has found
Fromir,
and Frodo.
And that Fromir is Bromir's brother.
Very creative names.
They were
So he really wants to please his father, right?
Hey, you know what? I know a fun fact. Fromir was in Van Helsing as Carl.
Yeah, I always just think of him 300.
He was also in 300 as
he's much cooler in that. He's the one-eyed dude that carries the story on. Man.
Yeah,
epicness. So, this made me want to watch 300. By the way,
this did
specifically Fromir. I was just like, yes, 300.
Made me want to watch Van Helsing.
Why?
Carl.
Why?
What are we doing? Oh no! Because I want to watch something stupid after watching all these.
Oh,
movies.
I know. 300 is too epic, and right. So, actually, you know what? When we were watching the Greek National Geographic, that's what it was.
Not Lampoons.
National Lampoon's Greek. You know that, right?
That'd be
Toga
epic.
Parties.
It's called Animal House,
right? They didn't make that, right? So that made me want to watch it, actually, because they talked about the Battle of Sparta and that specific real event that was based on that, right?
Yeah.
That was based on that. That's fantastic. That the movie and the story was based on.
Because the Greeks time traveled the beginning. They were like, Frank Miller wrote this story.
Is an awesome
we need to make it happen.
We need to make it happen. So they trained really hard and they predicted the future on that one. So he is deciding he needs to bring said hobbits back, and they're bad guys, and of course then
because Fromir's all like
in the pool of what for some reason it's sacred. And
he's like guess what? That ring is a special ring. I gotta take that home because that's the one ring, and that's what's gonna help us win this war.
Well, and that's what my dad wanted so bad, right?
Yeah,
and
And I got severe daddy issues because my daddy liked my older brother.
My dad's a douche.
I always thought that I was a bit of a tool, and I could never stand up. So so I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna do what he used to prove my quality.
Yeah.
So then they've gotten taken backwards a bit now with men once again causing problems,
and they're nowhere near Mordor now.
Yeah. So now we're back at Helm's Deep, looking into the abyss.
This is when the movie gets epic.
Yes. So this is like when it really starts to pick up, because now it's like, holy crap, what's going to be going on? It's getting dark. Like, we don't know what's going to happen.
They're setting up all their barriers.
Yeah.
The Uruk-hai, Isengard is now marched onto. No, it's not Isengard at that point. No, it's Mordor. That set of orcs.
Yeah.
And Uruk-hai, they've all marched on.
It's all from Mordor, yeah.
And they're all there, and it's all, there's 10,000.
Yeah, so then all of a sudden, this...
Almost had a beer episode.
A horn shows up. and it is the woodland elves.
Yes.
They show up to join the fight, and I think it's pretty epic because they realize that, you know what, we used to fight together because we used to see the good in this world together. We can also weather through the bad together, and there's no reason why we can't fight side by side. And so that's really awesome that they show up, of course, and they're, you know, all of a sudden
romance.
Would it be not? You know, it's elves, and, you know, they have to.
Aragon just, you know,
like, yes, I'm so excited.
Right? Gets all giddy.
But it's just because they're warriors. You know, we had literally nothing.
Yeah, you see,
we had the three of us.
There's the one-eyed guy,
villagers.
Too. The one-eyed guy, socket only.
It's like, oh, thank God, someone that can shoot something and hit something.
So then you've got everyone's like standing up along their lines.
So then now we have all of the battlefronts setting up towards them.
Yeah, and so they're all setting up, and then Gimli's all like, I can't see anything. Because he can't see over the thing, and you get that lovely little joke. Would you like a stool?
Right. Nope. Right? I will find you a box.
Yeah, I'll find you a box. And that's kind of cool because that's that moment when Gimli kind of laughs at Legolas right a bit.
Well, it's cute to see their friendship. They're really there's a lot of mutual respect there.
Yeah.
But just that right enough amount of kind of jabbing at each other, you know, and they're really, that bond is really shown up there. So it's impressive to see there's such a different fighting style and such different species, and that they're so appreciative of each other's strengths.
Yes.
And they don't make fun of their any weaknesses. They complement each other, right?
Yeah.
So, which is really awesome. And then the dude that can't hold the bow.
So they're sitting there, and they've got all these Uruk-hai and goblins and orcs.
They're just screaming, and
they're screaming and just pounding on their stuff. Then it starts raining.
Yeah, of course.
Right, and that's
lightning happens.
That's such a beautiful scene, actually.
Yeah,
especially because you've got the king Theoden standing there, and he's got his big speech, and then you're like, you know, you're seeing all those moments. And the rain just comes slowly, and then it just pours down on everyone. And
it's just like, it was already bad enough.
Right.
And now it's going to rain. Yeah. Awesome.
So you got that old dude, and he's barely holding his bow.
You can see it, too. You're like, don't let
tension's there, and just lets it fly, and just kills one of those Uruk-hai.
At least he made his mark. At least it wasn't a wasted arrow. At least take out one of them.
But he literally started a war.
He started a war, but it was going to happen at some point. But at least he didn't waste an arrow. He killed something, at least. I mean, it was still horrible because they were unprepared.
Yeah, they could have sieged for a while, right? Because you got to remember, Gandalf is supposed to arrive on the 5th day at daylight.
Yes.
On the Eastern Hill.
At 7:32 a.m., we decided. I thought it was hilarious. We're like, it's a very specific time. Like, he knows exactly what's going to happen. And he's like, did he go into the future? Is he planning? Is he going to sit there and wait? It's too early. We have to wait. And so he decided.
I can't make my grand entrance now.
It's too early. He's like, no, it's 7:32 a.m. on the 5th day. Look up and you'll find it. So that was the joke. When it we had to wait until 7:32 a.m.
Right.
I don't know why that time. It was the most random time, but
well, you can't be prompt.
That's the magic.
Because a wizard is never.
They mean to arrive exactly when they arrive exactly when they mean to.
Never early, never late.
I want to adopt for myself. I'm never early. I'm never late. I arrive exactly when I mean to.
You need to have that on a business card. So if anyone, so you don't have to explain to anyone.
No, it's just like, here you go.
If someone like, it's like, hey, you know, you're no. Just read the card. Little laminated card.
Little like a medical card.
Yeah.
Explanation for my time. I need to get that from my old boss.
I'm never here.
We used to make jokes about it. He would show up for dinners like half an hour late, and he's like, yeah, just strolls right in. It's like, oh, we're writing on your time. Right. I forgot. You just adjust accordingly. Anyways, back to lightning has struck, battle has ensued.
Right. So
horribleness is upon them.
There's arrows. And this is a cool scene because you know, you're getting the sweeping camera as it's, and the arrows are coming from this way and that way, and you're watching, you know, they're volleying and just arrows everywhere. Pew, pew, pew,
all the different type of arrows.
Because they've got them set up on the front line, they've got the ones in the back, and then on the side. So, like, they're literally just flanking and hitting
and, like, seriously, within no time, the Uruk-hai are completely overtaking everything.
Because it is that idea where it's that technology too.
Yeah,
right?
they are so advanced in their weaponry. They have catapults,
Crossbows.
they have these crossbows, the ladders they have.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely insane. They just, and it's not, I mean, yes, sheer force in volume of warriors is going to make a difference, but their technology is so far beyond because you either have melee weapons or you have arrows, and that's all the men have, right?
Yeah.
So,
and the crossbows,
just
too, because they get up against that wall and they just fire up, and they taking out L's, right?
Yeah. So many people died. It was so sad.
Right? And just that slaughter.
You got hit by a rock. Like, completely taken out.
And that's the thing, too. You have villagers throwing rocks.
Yeah.
You know, these old people just like,
there's no force there.
Yeah.
You're just really basing it on gravity. Right? That's it.
Pebbles. I'm doing something.
And then the folly of letting Wormtongue live.
Oh, yeah, because they...
Because he tells Saruman about... This is Saruman, by the way. This is not from Mordor. These are Isengard battle. Because this is Saruman's battle still.
Yes.
He had told Saruman about the Great.
Yes.
Under the
Great Wall.
Yeah, under the Great Wall, I guess. I can't remember. In Helm's Deep there. The keep. That's the word I was looking for. So this flaw that it has, that it's a drain hole. So he had told him about it, and you're like, oh, shit, that's going to come back to bite them.
Okay, and this is a mighty big drain hole.
Oh, my God, right? Who the hell devised what's supposed to be a fort and puts a big fucking hole in the bottom of it? I'm sorry.
Because it's big enough for them to put, like 6 of these...
Yeah, it's like a sewer they're running through.
Yeah.
And these big guys.
So, because all the Uruk-hai, to play a Uruk-hai, you had to be over 6 feet tall.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, they didn't have enough actors at the time, so they had to use forced perspective for that, because they couldn't get enough 6 feet tall dudes.
Okay.
Or dudettes, or whatever they were, to play the... Yeah, peeps. There we go. Yo, peeps! You're a Uruk-hai. I don't care what you are, but you're a Uruk-hai now.
Yeah.
So... They go ahead and they these giant, like, they're it's gunpowder basically. And that's the thing too, it's kind of cool because it shows like Saruman, he's like, I've got this power now in powder form chemistry. I love it too because it's so
I'm gonna blow stuff up,
right? And but it's because like Wormtongue shows up and he's got his little candle, and it's so slight. There's that comedy aspect where, you know, Saruman grabs his hand and slightly pushes it away because he knows that candle's going to drop and they're going to blow up, right? Like it's
like a young Frankenstein moment.
It felt very human.
Yeah,
right. It felt very real.
Whoa, back it up.
They didn't need to say anything or anything like that. It was just like the, you know. So they set these bombs up basically, and then you've got the Berserker Uruk-hai running
Olympic torch.
with his Olympic torch, right?
Kill him!
Like all they needed was just that music, that dun 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 dun.
I feel so bad because Aram like looks so desperate, and like this is the one time that Legolas cannot shoot fast enough. Like what?
Or hit his mark.
Or hit him properly. Like
he's like
where was your neck shot? Your head shot? Hit him in the freaking eye. Like what is your problem?
He's dropping them like no problem, and then the moment it counts, he
just comes up short.
But
like,
maybe this one's jacked up on something. Maybe
he was all like jacked on meth, and it's like full
superpowers.
On. Yeah, he was a super Uruk-hai.
You know, if Saruman's playing chemistry, who knows what he's cooking up in his lab?
Hey, it makes sense. Right? He would have made.
And there's the spin-off Breaking Bad moment, but with Saruman.
Breaking Bad's meth lab.
Up in Isengard.
Saruman.
That's why all the orcs have bad teeth.
Saruman meth lab.
It's Saruman's meth ink.
All he was doing was trying to, you know, working with the bad guy to fund his other job, and, you know, he's trying to get out from underneath his thumb.
Yeah.
By making things.
Making a name for himself.
Yeah. So
next time you look at all the goblins, all that, meth heads.
They all on meth. So Olympic Torchbearer does not get shut down. He goes and he blows it all up.
Now, one thing that I find is funny with that scene, though, is that he is running with no problem. He gets in the tube. No way he can get shot anymore. But the moment he gets in there, he doesn't run to the place where he's going to explode. He gets in and then leaps. Like, he literally could have missed. Right? Like,
nothing. There was no. Maybe
there was no danger.
Maybe that's when he finally was going to die. Maybe he was catching up to him, and it was
his
just
adrenaline had died.
Just
and he was like, "Oh
short
no!"
of it. If he had shot him a foot earlier, he would have fallen and not lit it up.
Okay.
So there you go. He was actually dying, and it was the last ditch effort to, make his death count.
Final flail.
And the wall explodes.
Yeah, and that's pretty epic, brutal scene.
It's so horrible. You're like, oh my god, the damage on that.
Because that's something you don't usually see in Sword and Sandals kind of movie, right?
Yeah,
like
you never see the wall breached. You always see the door broken or them reach over things. They never see the wall break.
Usually don't have explosives back then, right?
But
in those kind of fantasy movies.
King Theron, is it? Theoden? Theoden. I want to say Theron. Why did I want to say Theron? Where's that from? Theoden. Again, with a Titanic reference, very, very set on the fact that nothing can break this keep.
Right?
Everything is fine.
They hired him because he was on Titanic.
No one can get through this. You're like, shit, dude, you have way too much faith in this stuff.
You killed everyone on that Titanic. You want to kill more people?
You want to kill everyone in Helm's Deep too?
You ever want to be in Lord of the Rings and kill people? Well, maybe. I don't know. What am I killing? Well, you're going to play the king who
blindly believes that everything is fine.
Is okay.
Doesn't listen to the facts and the real world changing around him.
Titanic ripped off Lord of the Rings. Now I want to watch Titanic and see all the Lord of the Rings references we can cram in there.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, wall exploded.
So, okay, well, Merry and Pippin, they're still with the Ents, and the Ents
they're still waiting for them. They've now kind of come to a decision now.
Yeah, and like they come back and they're like, we finally figured it out. You dudes aren't orcs.
Right?
And they're like, that's what you figured out? Yeah, pretty much.
He looked like he was gonna bitch slap him.
Yeah, right? You've never seen Pippin look so angry, right? Like, he was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, the people are dying out there. Our friends are dying. What's up, man? There's war. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And
that
the
would
Ents,
have been fabulous.
And the Ents like, whatever. You're going home. Let's get out of here. It's not our deal. It's like throws him up on the shoulder, and they're like, what? And you're like, yeah, you're going back to the Shire. It's not happening. You're going back to the Shire. I'm sorry, but whatevs. And then so they're walking. And then Mary's like, wait, hold on. I've got an idea. Whoa. You're going the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to be looking for us if we go this way. If we get closer to it, they won't look for us.
I love this. You don't realize what he's doing.
And he's like, because really, like, why would we be stupid enough to get closer?
Yeah.
And Treebeard's like, that's some messed up shit, but I get it. I get what you're doing. Because, why would we go closer? Because, the further away... Oh, all right, let's turn around. Let's take a hike.
Let's take a gander over here.
Yeah, you know what? No big deal. No big harm, right?
So they show up at Isengard.
So they show up at Isengard, and Treebeard's like, what the fuck? What? Yo, Saruman, what did you fucking do to this place? I thought we had an understanding.
We have some very angry trees upon.
And he's like, you literally killed everything while I was sleeping. How is this even possible?
And the trees got mad.
So then he sends out the tree symbol up in,
That was Wookiee speak, by the way.
That was...
And then the trees make a very quick decision that, shit's going down.
Right? Because, whatever happens. But we don't get to see that yet because then we cut suddenly.
Well, they decided that they're going to go to war. They did leave it at that. They said, we have decided the trees are going to go to war.
Yeah.
So then it was like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
And then we cut to Frodo, and Frodo's all in Gondor.
Yeah.
And they're discussing the whole idea of like, what's happening and what happened to his brother and why. And then so Sam finally like loses his shit.
Yeah.
And Sam's all like, nah. Y'all just need to stop for one moment here and realize your brother was a dick tool. he tried to kill Frodo for that ring to use it for himself. And he wasn't going to bring it here and be like, hey, Daddy, what up?
He was going to use it for himself.
He was going to use it himself. He would have come back and be like, hey, Daddy, bitch slap, down on the ground. I'm the king now, motherfucker. That is what was going to happen. And Fromir's like, man, little Frodo, dude, little Hobbit dude. I get it.
I totally agree.
Whoa, you put me in my place. I totally turned tail. My dad is a dick tool. But I still love him, and I understand and respect him, and I'm going to do something stupid in another movie for him. So,
I would like to know what a dick tool is.
Use your imagination. So then,
like a little bit more beer and like colorful language comes out.
So then what happens is then they're like, things are going crazy. And then wraiths show up on their little speedster things, their little worm speedster, and they're screaming and there's stuff going everywhere. And then it's morning. Well, no, it's not morning. There's more battle.
Yeah, there's more
battle.
Well, they retreat. Run away!
Yeah, they keep pulling back.
Yeah, they're trying to get back to the keep.
And then the door's busting down.
And then they took, they got on the bridge, and then they send Aragorn out and Gimli. Secret door out. And they go in. I love how he chucks Gimli across this gap like it's nothing.
Throw me.
You're just going to take him from one side and just
don't tell the elf.
One arm him and just casually chuck him across this gap. Are you freaking kidding me?
Gimli, okay, like the John Rice Davies dude is 600
pounds.
No, I was going to say feet. He's 602 feet tall. No, he's in real life.
Yeah.
So, like, he's a meaty dude.
So, like, how did that happen?
With chainmail on and all that. Like, how is he going to chuck him across that gap?
Like, they did that really well, like, very seamlessly.
They threw him over and they battle on that bridge to beat them back.
Yeah, it was pretty epic.
And,
So, it was just enough time to actually help them be able to pin up that door a bit.
Climb a rope.
Didn't really.
Seamlessly.
No big deal.
Aragorn, one arm carries Gimli up this rope, which is impressive.
This is also when he was talking to way back when he was talking to the new lady friend of his. That was when we find out how old he is. Yeah. That was how he actually talks to her about that. And you find out that how old he actually is, and that he's like this different mutant. So
Xavier just needed to roll in and go, Aragorn, I have a special school. Go back and watch all the couple rad episodes. So then finally it's morning and the sun peaks and
it's 7:32 a.m.
Yeah. Gandalf comes with the Riders of Rohan.
Yeah.
And they're all like, what up? We're here. Woo! You're saviors.
Fresh soldiers.
And they come.
And blinding light.
And they come down and they start hacking and slashing at all these Uruk-hai and orcs. They slam into them like a wave. Mm-hmm. Gandalf's like, woohoo! And then we cut back to Isengard and the battle's happening. And the trees are just
going
like,
everywhere.
They're just like, and that's a cool scene because, like, this
was Kiddo's favorite thing.
Yeah. The tree is just destroying things and battling and stomping on orcs and goblins and
it's amazing how much, because I love how there's, for some reason, the forest has every type of tree possible. So there's like a representation from all the different types of trees.
There was willows.
And they just crush everything. Mm-hmm. Like it's cool to see. It's almost that power of nature feel that they will overtake anything. And
they break the dam.
Yeah, and then they take that out and they flood they all just stand their ground and the whole thing floods. And I thought it was just such an awesome the idea of water cleansing it, refreshing it,
puts out all the fires
and everything, and it's such a beautiful
allegory.
Yes,
we've got smart on you.
I know, right? I've said allegory so much lately. It's impressive.
Allegory.
Bringing it back to high school vocabulary, and so yeah, I love that symbolism there. Ooh, how fancy now. So power of nature. Whoop, whoop. Sorry, go ahead. Now we're good.
So they
I'm having a little celebration over here. Don't mind me. Party for one.
So they take all that out, and Treebeard's all like, yeah, we beat you. Only there was a couple that got burnt, though. It was really sad to see those ones get burnt.
Yeah.
Now, that's one thing with these movies, though, that dates these movies a little bit, is the tree effects. The giant tree man effects do date the movie for its CG because it's clunky.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then we jump back to Gondor, and they're about to be freed. And that was when Sam has his big speech.
And it's such a beautiful speech.
His speech is the epitome, even for our time.
We looked at each other, we're like, holy crap, this is still relevant right now.
Right? Like, it's so relevant of, like, him talking about how, we could just lay down and just give up, but we have to realize that there's so good within the darkness that we should protect and rise up to get rid of that darkness and not just lay down and die and not let it overtake us and be the bigger people to,
the fact
not
that,
allow it.
For them, they're in their third age right now, and they overtook that evil before. They can do it again, and they can keep talking about those tales that are really important. And you're not only just talking about the negative, to talk about the positive as well.
Yeah.
And I think that just brought it into light how much the whole story, honestly, is still relevant today. Mm-hmm. That's why it's such a beautiful piece of art. Mm-hmm. And because it's still that the battle of greed and good and evil and camaraderie, helping people, how much it never helps to just be like, no, you got to deal with your shit and I'm going to deal with mine. Working together to take down something that is bigger than your petty differences right here. What's more important, right?
It's just scary that it's still such a common thread.
Right?
I mean, this was written after World War II.
It's still just humanity, and it's disgusting. But it's good to think of this.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a beautiful monologue,
right? Like it's an amazing piece of acting, especially from him, right?
Yeah.
And then we jump back. After that beautiful scene of Sam being awesome and continuing to show that he's the GOAT of the entire series, then you find out that...
By the way, I love that Gimli and Legolas are keeping tally.
Yeah, the entire time. They do great.
My favorite line of the entire trilogy.
You laughed so hard at this.
I love it so much. I'm still laughing. Gimli, I think, is my favorite character. So they're doing their tallies, and they're at the moment it was the idea that they were Legolas is one above him, right? And Gimli's like he looks at he's like, well, what about this guy? Oh, that guy doesn't count. He's still twitching. And Gimli looks at him and says, he's still twitching because my arrow is in his nervous system.
My axe.
My axe is in his nervous system, right?
He wiggles the axe.
He wiggles it. And I'm like, oh my God, that was just the best line ever.
Well, because suddenly Gimli seems smart.
Right? And I was like, oh, he said nervous system and everything. And I was like, oh my God.
Because my axe is in his nervous system. Yeah.
It made me laugh a lot. Still makes me laugh. I don't know why. It's just so amusing to me. But yeah, that's part of their camaraderie back and forth, though, right? Like, it's so horrible, but, it's what keeps the guys, to me, then moving forward with this horrible war is they have to find ways to find some levity in it, as bad as it sounds.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
But you have to find something to help, right? So
then you have the hobbits. They're like, damn. All this battling, even though we just kind of sat on this tree, made us hungry.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like looking around, and then like, these apples are floating, and then they find like a roasted chicken.
Because, who wouldn't, right? I was going to say turkey, but it probably is a chicken considering their size.
Yeah.
So who wouldn't find a floating roasted chicken out of the water and be like, yeah, we're going to eat this?
I guess if you're in a flood, you won't care if you're that hungry. It's war times.
Yeah, I know, but no, yeah.
They haven't eaten for how many days, and they're hobbits.
Yeah.
So then they go ahead and they find out that they found the kitchen.
Yeah.
And in that kitchen happens to be some weed.
Barrels of it.
Barrels of weed.
They each have their own barrel.
And what do they start doing? They start smoking. They forget about eating. They start smoking that weed.
Because all they've been talking about is wanting to get back home and smoke.
Yeah. So they sit and
because they look. It's like they find that. You know what's funny is when you think about any movies that actually have weed in it, where it's like the glowing bag of something that they found. Like, this was my prize strain that I found here. And it was like that. It was like we talked about the mystical plant that we could find if we went back home. That's what we would love. Oh my God, it's here. Oh.
Yeah. And they just, they start eating and they start laughing. And then Treebeard's like, damn, they're getting hurt. He goes running over there. They're just like,
what up?
Puff, puff, pass. Right? And they're just, we
said Fromir.
Fromir?
It's Faramir.
Faramir.
I just realized
it sounds like it's Fromir in the movie.
It does. Though. But it's going to be kind of how you blend it together because it's Bromir and Fromir. See, Fromir just sounds better.
Fromir?
But Faramir.
Faramir.
That's the other problem is when you don't...
Faramir.
You know, there's so many characters. Oh my goodness. I love the stories, but it's just... it was good to watch them back to back and also difficult to now talk about them though.
Yeah, who knows what the third episode's going to be like.
You know what? Everything can fit into that episode.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna crack 3 beers.
I'm not even done with my second.
We might need to have 3 before. So
I'm sorry. I'm amused. Anyways.
So then we
got some stoned hobbits.
Some stone hobbits. And you find out that...
but Faramir is going to let Frodo and Sam go.
Yeah, he lets them go. Because after Sam gives him the jeers.
Yeah, and so it's that concept, though, that, this is what needs to be done. This is the greater good of things. And this is... I'm going to do what my brother... too late realized that he should be doing. Yeah. He wanted the ring and I know that my dad is not wanting it for the pure reasons. Mm-hmm. And my brother realized too late and he died protecting what he had now decided was his choice against the ring. Yeah. And I'm going to do what I'm supposed to, even though my dad is not going to understand. I know that this is what matters more. Yeah. So you're like, yes, dude.
He gets there. Carl realizes.
He's just going to be Carl. Yeah. He's not Faramir. He's Carl.
He's Carl.
It's easier.
Yeah. So then you find out that when they go, and then you find out that Gollum's leading them off, and Gollum's all like pretending he's all Smeagol, but he's still having his conversations because basically he feels that Frodo betrayed him by having him be captured by the Gondorians.
Yes.
So he's decided that he's going to kill the hobbits, and feed them to her.
Kill the hobbits!
I want to know what the next line is going to be, because I don't know if it matters.
Nope.
Clementine?
Just...
But yeah, so that's that, so then you have them... Guess what they're doing at the end of the movie again? They're walking into the sunset.
Yep. Well, and then, it's the, oh, yay, this is we feel better. No. The battle has just begun. We won Helm's Deep, but the battle for Middle-earth
has begun.
One thing we forgot back there, it was all like, yay, wonderful, Helm's Deep battle is won. Most of us are mostly alive. But what is really sad, though, is that the elf leader, captain, had gotten taken out.
He does die.
That was really sad.
He does die.
You know what's funny is I always... I think I talked about it this last episode, where I always felt that he seemed shifty. He was kind of a bad guy. And then when he shows up there, then you realize that, no, he really is...
Is he tricky?
That he really was a good guy. Like, it was impressive, and it was so meaningful that he was there, and you're like so devastated when he actually did die. Because you have one more, I know he wasn't like the head leader, he wasn't the king or anything like that, but he was just, it was impressive.
We forgot to talk about how much you loved when Legolas slid down the stairs on a shield. And impaled that Uruk-hai with his own shield.
It was fabulous. Yeah, he goes flying down the shield, so he's gonna snowboard down, he's gonna keep shooting his arrow and kill a bunch of Uruk-hai, while also then, at the last-ditch effort, shoot it up and impale him, so he kills as many people as possible, because he is the shit. Legolas is awesome. It's just like so BA. Like, I pick random times when I'm not going to swear. It's awesome.
Oh, censored. But I had a lot of fun watching this again. I'm excited because now I remember it much more. I still find that this one feels longer than the others because there's a bit more drawn out, because the entire time the ring is wearing more and more on Frodo, right? And you're getting a bit more of those moments, and
because you're like, I understand that this is a burden to bear, but you're driving me nuts, right? Because you know that he can't see the other side of it. And again, the drug allegory is once you start down that path, you can't see the other side of it. You can't see what it's doing to you. You just see that it is changing. You know, other people can see that it's changing you, but you don't realize it. And so it's no different than that. And so you understand it, but on an emotional gut level, you're like, oh my gosh, like, why do you not get that this is hurting you? Yeah. And yeah, he has this little drug buddy there just coaxing him on things, right? Right. And it's just
Smeagol's just sitting there just like, do it.
Come on, guys. Everyone else is against you, right?
And Sam's trying. He's trying his hardest to get Frodo sober.
And I know that, it's been a theme we talked about it before too, that how Sam has changed, though. You become more appreciative of his character and his changes for things as he goes through it. So as we mentioned earlier, about when he does get angry, it's like, no, I understand now more of why he was like that, right? Yeah. So, but yeah, so Kiddo, I mentioned already that he really liked the tree battle. He also liked Helm's Deep battle. It was super epic. Of course, it felt super hopeless until, as he referred to as Angel Gandalf arrived. So he definitely liked the action scenes. He also liked the balance between Gimli and Legolas as well. Yeah. And I think because it's a humor too. Yeah, it adds that banter, right? Yeah, that much needed lightness to all the darkness that is happening. Yeah. So I mean, those are the things that really stuck with him is that lightness about it, and then the action, of course. So he did still pay attention really well, but this movie was longer as well, and a lot of characters, a lot of adding things to the more layers. So many more layers for things. So, but overall, I'm impressed that he stuck with it so well. And he was, and as soon as the movie ended, it was like,
No. It was like, that's how it ends.
Oh yeah. Say what?
And that's the thing is like, he's growing up in this world where we have streaming. Yeah. And for television, there's no
play next episode.
Yeah, right. Like literally, you can just sit there and binge watch anything now. Yeah. From front to back and not have to wait. So then, like, for us, when these movies came out, we were still lucky back then that it was only a year between it. Oh, yeah. You look at some of the stuff now, it's multiple years now. Mm-hmm. And, like, the fact that they actually made this, that it was a year between each Lord of the Rings was impressive. Yeah. But for him, it would just kill him. He was just like, we're going to watch the next one. We're not watching the next one tonight. No. The next one's even longer. It's like 4 hours, and 2 hours of that is epilogue. Right. So like we had to watch the next one, and that's what we'll be talking about next week. Woo!
So then we don't have to worry about it if we mix things up, because we know it's all going to be in there.
Like, you're just going to get a shit show. Especially
more beer and more Lord of the Rings.
Hit up some coffee first and then just start going. It's going to be like a drunk history episode.
Oh, yes. We should do drunk history.
We're going to start doing drunk Hobbitown.
Drunk fiction, Yeah. Anyways.
So you know what? Stay rad.
Stay awesome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!